Well, amen, amen, amen. Can I speak, amen, to Jerry Jones, amen? Amen. This is Reverend Brother Deacon Dallas. Amen. Calling from the chip game, Callas, amen. Amen. Oh, yes. Amen, Jerry, amen, Jones, amen. How are you this evening? Amen. Good. Well, Jerry, amen, I understand, amen, that things are going down, amen, as they would as usual, amen, in free agency, amen. Amen, Jerry, amen. It seems, amen, Jerry, that you still have not chosen anyone, amen, of substance, amen, in free agency. Amen. Amen. Well, Jerry, amen, I'm just going to tell you, amen, like this, amen, because, amen, we cannot be playing around with this, amen, Jerry. Jerry, I keep on telling you, amen, that you must strike while the iron is hot. Amen. Tier 1, amen, Jerry. Amen. Tomorrow we'll be on tier 2, amen. Amen. You can't get these Timu, amen, status players, amen, and expect them to play, amen, like they're Pro Bowl guys, amen. Jerry, it's just ridiculous, Jerry. The Eagles, amen, have a Super Bowl, amen, trophy, amen, Jerry. Amen, Jerry, why do you think they have, amen, a Super Bowl, amen, trophy, Jerry? Because they went to get the players, Jerry, amen. Amen. And they play, amen, to win, amen, the game. Amen, Jerry, I don't know what we're doing, amen. Pretty soon, amen, we will not, amen, be America's, amen, team, amen. Oh, no, Jerry, amen, it's going to be another 7 and something seasons, Jerry, amen. Well, Jerry, amen, look at your roster, Jerry. You just lost, amen, Jordan Lewis today, amen. Amen, Micah Parsons is upset, amen. I seen him putting initials up there, amen, today, Jerry. You know those initials. Oh, my goodness, I had to begin to pray for Micah Parsons, amen. The man is backslidden, amen. He was cussing Jerry. He said WT. Hey, yeah, amen. You know what comes next. Amen. And it wasn't Washington team, Jerry. It was what the? Yes, Jerry. And a cuss after it, Jerry. Jerry, we must do better, amen. Jerry Jones. Amen. Amen. Well, I'll be back, amen, in touch with you, but I'm certainly praying that you do better, amen, that you did today when you decided, amen, to get a running back that we've never heard of, Jerry, amen. From now, amen, to then, amen, Jerry, we're going to continue to lift you, amen, up in prayer, amen. Me and all of the brothers from the ministry, amen. I'm going to go, amen, eat some oxtails, amen, Jerry. And I'm going to pray, amen. Amen. You know this season is coming where I must be fasting and, amen, praying, amen. But I'm definitely praying for you, Jerry, and the Cowboys. Amen. Shalom.